Hey friends, and welcome back to the Rice Family YouTube channel. Today is day 7 of our family road trip, and we are packing up and heading out of Phoenix towards one of our favorite places, St. George, Utah. But on the way, we are stopping at a place that completely surprised us with how beautiful it was, Valley of Fire State Park. So let's jump in to day 7. We started the morning by packing up our Airbnb in Phoenix and getting everyone loaded up for the next stretch of our trip. This part of the journey was more of a travel day, but we've learned that even driving days can be really meaningful when you're intentional about the route. As we made our way out of Arizona and into Nevada, the landscape began to shift again. The desert changes steadily as you move through the different regions, and it always is interesting to watch those transitions. On our route, it took us right over Hoover Dam and Boulder City. Those are really interesting stops, which we actually visited them last year. So this time we chose to do more of a drive-by view and keep moving. Hoover Dam, if you're familiar, is one of the most well-known engineering projects in the United States. It was built during the Great Depression, and it helped control the Colorado River, providing water and power to multiple states. So instead of going through Las Vegas, we took a scenic route along Lakeshore Road and Northshore Road. And this is something I would highly recommend if you're traveling in this direction. These roads are incredibly scenic, have much less traffic, and actually saved us about 30 minutes compared to going through Las Vegas. They're technically toll roads, but if you have a National Parks Pass, you don't need to pay. At least we didn't at the time. So that was an added bonus. For our family, this route just made the day feel more peaceful. Instead of driving and dealing with traffic and city congestion, we were able to enjoy the views and keep a steady pace and make the drive just part of the experience. So after the drive, we arrived at our destination of the day, Valley of Fire State Park. And this place is absolutely breathtaking. It's one of those locations that you don't fully expect until you see it in person. Valley of Fire is Nevada's oldest state park and is known for its bright red sandstone formations, as you can see here. The rocks get their color from iron deposits, and when it hits the sun, they almost look like they're glowing. That's actually where the name Valley of Fire came from. The landscape here feels completely different from anywhere else that we had been on this trip so far. There are rolling red rock formations, unique shapes carved by the wind and time, wide open desert views, and it almost felt like you were on another planet. While we were there, we were able to see some wildlife, which always makes it more exciting for the kids. And depending on the time of year, you also might see desert bighorn sheep, lizards, birds, and many things. And it's always fun to slow down and to look at those little details and appreciate them in the climate that they're in. Well, we kept this stop simple and focused and enjoying the space. We went on 2 hikes, and one of the things that I love about this park is that there are options for different levels. Some hikes are short and easy, more like walking and exploring, while others are longer and more adventurous, so you can really tailor it to your family. We did bring food with us, which always makes the experience for our family better since we're able to just take our time and to sit and eat and enjoy the views without feeling rushed to leave. And that's something that we try to do on these kinds of stops. It just slows everything down in a good way. You'll also find that there is nowhere to grab food when you're out here, so bring it with you. There are a couple of things to be aware of if you visit Valley of Fire State Park, and first, it can be very windy. The open landscape allows wind to move through pretty strong at times. Second, there is flash flooding, and it can be a risk, especially in lower areas or slot-like formations. So it's always important to check the weather, be aware of your surroundings, and plan accordingly. This is another one of those places that naturally leads to learning. You can talk about how the wind and erosion shapes the land. You can talk about the minerals that give rocks their color. You can talk about how the desert environment functions. It's a great way to connect what kids are seeing with the world and how it works. For our family, we just loved Valley of Fire State Park. It was one of those unexpected highlights of the trip. It wasn't overly crowded. It was incredibly beautiful, and it gave us space just to explore together. The trail that you see in this video here is one of the trails that were really neat hike in Valley of Fire, and it's called the Rainbow Vista Trail, sometimes just called the Rainbow Trail. It's a short, family-friendly hike. It's about 1 mile round trip, so it's a great option if you're traveling with kids or just want something a little more relaxed. What makes this trail special is the variety of colors in the rock. And as you walk, you'll see the layers of sandstone that range from white to tan to deep red, almost like a natural rainbow across the landscape. The trail itself is mostly sandy and fairly flat, though the sand can make it feel a little bit more challenging than it looks. As you continue along, the trail leads you into the beginning of Fire Canyon, where the rock formations become more dramatic and the canyon walls start to rise around you. And then at the end, you reach this beautiful overlook of Fire Canyon, where you can just take in all the layers and the depth of landscape. It's one of those views that makes you stop for a minute and just take it all in. We would highly recommend anyone to stop by Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada. It's so gorgeous, so fun. When we finished up our time here at the state park, we headed over to St. George, Utah, which is another one of our favorites. Our family just loves visiting St. George. There's so many things to do, which I can't wait to show you in the next video. It's one of the places we try to hit at least once a year. There's just something about it that feels familiar, peaceful, and easy for families. So we rented a condo, and when we arrived, we unpacked and got everyone settled in after a full day of driving and exploring. It was just nice to just slow down, be together as a family. So day 7 was the perfect mix of intentional travel, beautiful scenery, and discovering a new favorite place. And tomorrow we'll be spending time here in St. George, which is always something we look forward to. So thanks so much for following along with our journey, and we can't wait to see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe so that you can get notified for our different travels, homesteading, homeschooling, and much more. Thanks for following along this journey with us.